Shakur Stevenson's lead hand is one of the most important parts of his boxing. It sets up most of his attacks. He uses it to lure his opponents in the lead hand battle, and when the moment is right, he throws a short jab feint, which provokes his opponents to bait it and extend their lead arm, trying to block Shakur's lead hand or to keep it busy. As they barely start extending their lead arm, they already see Shakur dipping below it and getting ready to counter, which puts them in the panic mode, where they accomplish nothing other than facilitating Shakur's job by opening themselves up. He uses that opportunity to slip underneath the extended lead arm and explode towards them with a left hand that may come from any angle and direction, straight to the head, body, or the looping punch around the guard up and down. Let's take a closer look at how exactly he's timing those counters. He dips on the inside of the incoming jab, right above his left foot, loading up on his left hand. As he's dipping and loading up, he's moving his lead foot forward and outside of Nakatila's lead foot at the same time. As Stevenson is throwing the punch, he's slipping outside of Nakatila's lead foot. At the moment of the impact, his head ends up at the outside angle right above his lead foot. But Stevenson can also use those same feints to step outside of the opponent's lead foot as they are throwing jabs, so he could land his own jabs and hooks with his lead arm from the blind angle. Another important trick that's helping him to open the opponent's lead hand is certainly inspired by his gym mate Terence Crawford. It's about luring them into lead hand probes, where Stevenson would probe and feint from above, making them probe high at his glove in return. This makes his job of dipping underneath and countering easier. You can also see Stevenson using the old school technique of slapping down the lead hand and countering upstairs with any of his two hands. A testament to his cerebrality is this example where after slapping down Nakatila's jab and getting him used to counters to the head multiple times, Stevenson slapped down his jab once more, but made a counterintuitive choice of countering him to the body as Nakatila braced for a head punch. If he notices that his opponents are overcommitting with the rear hand, Shakur would keep his upper body over his back foot and engage them into lead hand battle, letting them step forward behind the jab trying to set up the rear hand. Once he sees them throwing the rear hand, he pulls his rear foot back and outside of the rear foot, leans back and uses that split second of them being off balance to punish them with an easy shot. When he has his opponents on the ropes, he makes sure not to approach too close, and instead looks to carefully create the openings by measuring, probing, blinding and stiff arming them with his jab from long distance. And stiff arming is something that he likes to use as well. It's an illegal tactic, but the promotional A-side boxers are always allowed to use them without getting punished, just like about any other illegal tactic. Stiff arming allows Shakur Stevenson to control the distance and keep the opponents at the bay. It also blinds them, so Stevenson would pull his lead arm back just a little bit and step a short lead hand punch. Many times he would confuse them by mixing up stiff arms and jabs. He can also stiff arm them with the lead hand and sneak in the rear hand behind. Or, after stiff arming them, he would pull them down from behind the head and run them into his rear hand. He can use it as a shield to step in with a straight left to the body behind it. And Stevenson also uses the very same tactic, but instead of landing a body shot behind it, to land a low blow.